Hey everyone, and welcome. Let's talk about something that's probably on a lot of parents' minds. In a world that's all about making life easier, are we kind of accidentally making our kids weaker? Today, we're diving deep into how to build real resilience in our children.
I mean, think about it, right? It's a tough question to ask. We've got on-demand everything, movies, food, even AI that can practically do their homework for them. We've smoothed out so many of the bumps in the road. But what happens when they hit a real roadblock? One that you can't just solve with an app or a quick Google search. That's the big paradox we're digging into. And this makes the challenge for parents today totally unique. We're raising Gen Z and now Gen Alpha in this bubble of convenience. And while that's great in some ways, it can create this huge gap when it comes to good old-fashioned grit, that ability to just handle it when things get tough.
Just look at this comparison. It's pretty stark, right? I bet a lot of you remember having to chase down a bus, or actually walking over to a friend's house if you wanted to see them. Now, a ride is just a tap on a screen. Dinner just shows up at the door. And yeah, it's super convenient, but this kind of frictionless life means our kids are getting way fewer chances to build up that tolerance for things not being perfect all the time.
Okay, so let's get on the same page. What do we actually mean by resilience? Because this word gets thrown around constantly, right? And a lot of people think it just means being tough, suck it up. But it's so much more than that. Think of it like this. Resilience is basically our psychological armor. It's that inner strength to deal with stress, with things going wrong. It's not about never getting hit by life's punches, because let's be real, that's impossible. It's about having what it takes to get back on your feet after you've been knocked down.
And I love this quote because it really gets to the heart of it. It's not just about surviving the storm, right? It's about having the strength, the hope, to actually start rebuilding after it's all over. It's an active thing, a healing thing. So we can actually break resilience down into 3 different things. First, it's a process. That's the journey you go on to adapt. Second, it's an outcome. Coming out the other side stronger than before. And finally, and this is the really important part, it becomes a trait. It's like a muscle that you build up with practice over and over again.
All right, so if it's a muscle, how do we build it? Well, you can't just read about resilience in a book and suddenly have it. Nope. It's forged in the fire of actual experience. That means letting our kids face challenges, and, this is the hard part for us parents, even letting them fail. It's honestly one of the greatest gifts we can give them.
And the source material we're looking at today has this perfect, real-life story. The author's own son faces this massive setback. He fails the entrance exam for his absolute dream university. I mean, can you just imagine how devastating that must have felt? Okay, now here's the key moment in the story. His parents didn't swoop in. They didn't try to fix it. They didn't immediately look for another school. They gave him the choice. It was completely up to him. Do you give up on this dream, or do you dig deep and try again? So what did he do? He chose the hard road, the really hard road. He spent a whole year, an entire year, just studying, preparing, and focusing on one single goal: getting a second chance at that exam. And guess what? The next year, he did it. He passed. And that success was so much sweeter, so much more meaningful, because it came after failure. He earned it. That whole experience taught him more about persistence and bouncing back than any class ever could. In the end, that failure was his greatest teacher. So how do we give our kids these kinds of experiences without, throwing them to the wolves? Well, you can encourage them to join a sports team or a club where they learn that just showing up and trying your best is a win. Or maybe let them manage their own small allowance so they learn about limits. And here's the big one, the one that's so hard for us parents. Resist the urge to solve their small problems for them. Seriously, letting them deal with a forgotten lunch teaches them more about responsibility than 100 lectures. But, and this is a really big but, just throwing challenges at them isn't the whole picture, not even close. Pushing a kid to be tough without having a solid support system in place, that's not a recipe for resilience, that's a recipe for anxiety. They need that foundation of support.
This next part is so interesting. Look at this comparison. So in Japan, kids are taught to be tough from day one. They walk for miles to get to school, they clean their own classrooms. It builds incredible discipline. But, and this is the kicker, the country also sees high rates of despair when adults face big life failures. So why is that? It's because toughness on its own can be brittle. It can snap. Real resilience is toughness plus support from family, from your community, and from a sense of hope or fear. And look, this isn't just some fluffy, feel-good idea.
The benefits of resilience are real, and you can actually measure them. I mean, look at this. We're talking better mental health, like lower stress and depression. We're talking stronger relationships with other people. And yeah, even greater success in their careers, because they learn to see a setback not as a dead end, but as a chance to learn something new.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. What's our job in all of this as parents? It really comes down to a huge shift in how we see our role. We have to stop thinking of ourselves as our child's constant protector and start seeing ourselves as their preparer. The family has to be that home base, that foundation. It needs to be the one place in the entire world where it's absolutely safe for your kid to fail. And that means creating really strong emotional bonds, letting them know they can talk to you about anything. It means when they're frustrated, you validate that feeling instead of just telling them to get over it. It's about offering that unconditional love that says, I've got your back, win or lose. That's the bedrock. That's where they get the strength to build themselves up.
So when you boil it all down, the goal of parenting today just has to change. Our job can't be to act like a snowplow, just clearing every single little obstacle out of their path.
No, our job is to be their guide. It's to give them the map, a compass, a good pair of hiking boots, and the confidence to know that they can handle any path they end up on, no matter how steep or rocky it gets. So I'll leave you with this one last question to think about. It doesn't have to be some huge, life-altering test. Just think, what is one small thing, one tiny challenge that you can let your child handle completely on their own this week? Because that's it. That's where this journey to building real resilience truly begins. Thanks for tuning in.